It's trending news from the cutting edge. What's up? What's new?
What's in?
With the Diva.
The Chemistry Diva. The Chemistry Diva.
So Kevin, the next series of questions focuses on launch workshops. And as you are aware, over the past year, Informa has designed and developed a number of launch workshops for our clients. What do you think sets our launch workshops apart from the others?
Well, I think there are two primary differentiation factors for us. One is speed. We can do them very quickly because our team is really, really good at doing workshops. Standard workshops, sometimes in a very tight timeline. The second thing, which I think is really important, is that we're developing new ways of developing workshop content. We've been experimenting with taking training out of the typical classroom setting and creating stations of learning in certain predefined areas where small groups of reps, maybe with a moderator at a station, can go from station to station to learn something new, whether it be a moderated poster discussion, whether it be an interaction with an iPad app, whether it be a game. So taking that type of education out of the classic classroom and putting it into a more dynamic, interactive setting has been very successful for us, and a lot of clients have been very, very satisfied with the outcome.
Absolutely.
So I think the first thing to understand is the foundation of learning, our perspective on what are effective learning techniques. And if you think about it, as the modern humans have evolved over the past 150,000 years. It's only been the past 2 to 3 centuries that the printed word has been the primary vehicle for learning. Now, when you think about it, that's actually fascinating, because how did we survive and evolve over hundreds of thousands of years? We learned a lot. We did it a lot by watching, observing, and doing. And a lot of those principles actually are tried and true and should be incorporated into learning activities that we develop for our sales reps. So when you think about it from the standpoint of how our brains work, how we visualize information is actually a fundamental component of how we learn. If you look at the brains of London cab drivers, you'll actually see that they have a bigger portion of their brain devoted to visual memory. They've learned how to navigate thousands of streets and how to immediately calculate the best route from one destination to another over months and years of practice. We have to understand that that's the way most people learn. Even if you are a non-visual learner, it's actually incorrect. You are a visual learner. You might do very well learning from the printed page, but everyone can do better if they incorporate the tried and true techniques that we have used over the past 150,000 years.
What are the primary goals of Informa's launch workshops?
Well, I think the primary goals actually arise out of our clients' goals, and it really depends on what the client needs to achieve at that time. In some cases, it's getting information into the heads of the sales rep because they need to have facts at their disposal. In some cases, it's actually learning how to implement a new behavior or a skill. So in that case, we would have to tailor the learning to some sort of role play or a skills acquisition type of activity. So the underpinning throughout the entire workshop experience really is marrying the operational need of the sales rep on a daily basis to the actual learning. And what we do very well through a combination of traditional workshop settings as well as more innovative techniques is to marry those two needs together.
This is one question I know you definitely don't want me to answer, so let's go right to the source. How long does it take typically to pull these launch workshops together?
Well, the typical timelines can vary based on the duration and the need of the client. We've done some launch workshop components in as little as 4 weeks. By no means would that be a full launch, but I would say the typical duration of development time at a minimum would be 2 months for a typical launch. And for a launch in which we had maybe more complex activities, maybe 2.5 to 3. But we typically develop launches in the context of a larger launch program. So we plug into our clients' particular needs based on what the agenda of the launch is.
Signing off from the Chemistry Diva studio. Until next time, be sure to stay connected with What's In at informatp.com. And that's a wrap. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me live in the studio today. We really look forward to seeing what you and your team develop in the future.
Thank you.